Welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is a Thursday.
Dang it. You know what?
What's that?
That's my cue, though. I have to be prepared.
Well, you should.
But today's not Wednesday.
It's
so.
easy to catch you off guard.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy. Because you're in squirrel mode most of the time. You know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, I know. You know, sometimes I can concentrate when I have to.
Do you have to be under the influence of drugs?
I don't know, but maybe I should try that, Dan.
Well, it's slow. I think it's just a matter of speed. Your mind is so in speed mode all the time.
Do you think that's what it is?
That's part of you.
And I think that, it's not a good thing, all people. It can be very much a curse. Very much. You know, and I don't listen because my mind is going to the next thing. Exactly. So it's a little bit, it's hard, it's rough. I mean, you should feel for me.
It's an alert going off in your brain. Alert sound. Alert. Attention. Over here. Look over there. Look at it. Yeah.
Oh, me. You know what? It didn't used to be that way so bad. I think it's
Why is it that
developed.
way?
I don't know.
Is it old age, you think?
I don't know about that. Does that happen in your old age?
Something happens in your old age. I guarantee you that much. I know that much for sure.
I don't know. It's harder for me. You know what? Even as a young mother, I could multitask quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Anymore? Nope. I have to shut everything off around, like to read, shut everything off around me.
Yes.
TV, any of that. I have to have it quiet and focus because my brain already has a problem with going to, I wonder what that is, while you're doing the task that you're concentrating on. So I think that as a young person, you're always trying to assimilate more knowledge so that your life will be better. Uh-huh. So you're always learning. You're learning from a child. You're learning. Right.
And to a certain point, you get to a point where you kind of have done everything. You've know the routines, and you look at life like that. I'm not going to get all excited about because it's going to take a while, and I'm just going to take you become wiser.
Right.
So you kind of slow down, and then things aren't as important in that respect of losing your mind, or it's got to be done today, or those kind of things.
Well, you know what? I used to, that's a good description because I have been able to take a breath.
Go into Zen mode.
And it's quite lovely because I had not experienced that. And
other than one of our coworkers, Beamer, is constantly in that.
Is he though? You don't know what he does at home. He may just totally just chill. And then again, he may act like this at home.
He's crazy.
He is crazy.
He's still in his. He's probably 6 or 7. He's still
he's
6
or 7.
Yeah, he's got the mental capacity of a 6-year-old.
Yeah, you can't talk about me.
And then sometimes you go, gosh, I wished I was in that 6-year-old frame of mind.
Oh, I had to go. Dan yesterday had to go in the other room to concentrate because Beamer was on air and him and I were talking a bit, and then today I had to do the same thing. Because it's like, I have to have that solitude. Mm-hmm. That helped.
Yes,
anyway,
it does.
It does.
I like solitude as I get older. I like to be alone and
we have one
not
of these,
so much alone, but just in a quiet.
There's
state.
one of these trending things that talks about that actually. So hey, we want to remind you that you can spend your morning or afternoons at Runaway Mountain Coaster.
Yes.
And enjoy BOGO. Buy one, get one free ticket. Buy one, get one free
Okay.
tickets. Through March 31st, stretch your spring break dollar with a BOGO from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. No, 10 a.m. to noon or 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
I bet you that you could go buy a ticket in the morning, do your ride, and then come back and get another ride free.
You think so?
If you buy 2 tickets,
well, sure.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is a deal.
Yeah, it is.
Go to runawaybranson.com/spring break and get your BOGO tickets.
Mm-hmm.
This is good through March 31st.
Yeah, and up after our first break, we have a guest from Harrison. His name is Maddox Keeter, and he's going to be talking about his chess club that
I think that's awesome.
started. We've not really talked about chess, and chess is an old game. It's an old game.
Do you play chess?
I do. I know how to play.
Do you?
I'm probably not very good. I had a guy that I played with that he was teaching me how to play, and I quit playing with him after the second game.
Did he cheat or did he get
No,
beat?
no. Here's what he did. I made a move, and he goes, "You shouldn't have made that move." And I go, "Well, it was my move." "Oh, you're gonna lose." Okay. So I kept playing, and he won. I mean, he was a good chess player, but he was wanting to be lording over me.
Do you think he was trying to teach you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he was telling me that I was an idiot for making moves.
That's not the only time you've been called an idiot.
But anyway, we're gonna.
Sorry.
No, that I know. I thought of that reference when I said that. But Maddox is going to be here. He's going to be talking about chess and all the probably the finer intricacies of what the game is.
Well, how to get involved. I mean, there may be people sitting out here in the woodwork. They're like, man, I wish there was a chess club.
Yeah.
So,
and I bet you Maddox probably likes the game Risk too.
You think?
Because it's complicated. It's a long running game.
It takes thought. You know
what?
It
takes a lot of thought.
Our little ADD minds might not be too good at it.
Well, probably not. But Maddox will be here. We'll be talking about that a little bit later.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some weather.
You want to talk about?
Because I am so not happy with the weather right now.
Yesterday we talked about the weather, and it had snow in the forecast, and it did snow a little bit last night.
I heard. I did not stay up to watch it, or I didn't look for it, or any of that. But today is cold. It was quite interesting because I went outside a couple of times yesterday, and with the temperature dropping and the wind blowing, it like pierced through me. It was cold, and it is cold. Today's partly sunny, then gradually becoming all sunny, and a high near 54.
All sunny is the forecast.
Well, this is as of right now because 30 minutes from now it could change.
It could change.
Tonight, mostly clear with a low of 35. You're still going to experience wind gusts. Friday, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny. A high of 67, breezy with the wind gusts possible. Friday night, mostly clear and a low of 39. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 70. Winds could gust up to 15 miles per hour. And then Saturday night, a chance of showers before 10 p.m., then a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. And then a chance, for Pete's sake, it might rain. There's a 50% chance.
Okay.
Low of 54. Go ahead.
All right. And then Sunday, partly cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms likely. Also possibly after 7 p.m. High 71 degrees. Chance of precipitation is 50%. And then Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 41. Monday, high 65, overnight low 45. And then Tuesday and Wednesday looks like it's going to be 73 degrees.
Well, we're just going to hope that there's no wind when it's time to take off on my flight. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, well.
Let it be less.
You just got to get out of this area. Get above the cloud and the rains. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it might be a bumpy takeoff.
Yeah. All right. Topic to ponders this week is all about facts.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy.
You've taxed
stirred the pot again.
But you have taxed my brain.
I have tried to do these things very middle of the road, and
they're not political. People make them political.
They're not
political. I mean, they're not intended to be.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let me say this. This one I checked out on. But
Okay.
Go ahead and do it.
All right.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
Can a fact ever truly be absolute, or can facts change based on evidence or perspectives?
Fact is fact.
Fact is a fact.
It doesn't change.
Right.
I say it's an absolute.
I believe it.
Okay.
Yes.
You maybe I've started overthinking
I think people will look at the fact and say, yeah, but he did this, or yeah, but that situation is this, and yeah, but the fact is the fact. A cold, hard fact.
You have to have evidence of fact.
Yes.
To support it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very, very quick.
Well, wow. Okay, I made that way too much in my little ADD brain.
You wanna read some of the responses if we have any?
Oh, we have some.
You want to read some?
Facts, no. Specifically, yes. Example: 2 vehicles crashed. That was a. I can't go. I might not be able to try to understand. You want me to go ahead and read it?
No, just read
okay.
it. They don't. Yeah.
Crash. That was a fact. A type of vehicle depends upon the perspective of the individual observer. Was it a car? Was it an SUV? Was it a truck? Was it a compact vehicle? All of this is subject to interpretation by the observation and knowledge of the viewer. But fact. What was the question? Can a fact ever truly be absolute, or can facts change based on evidence or perspective? Facts, no. Specifically, yes. I don't. I'm lost.
I'm a little
that
confused
one, on that one. I'll have to go back and read that.
Well, if there was video evidence, I mean, even if what that person is saying is the witness could get it wrong. Say that was a sedan and it was an SUV.
Oh.
I mean, it was a car, and a lot of times, I think what they're saying is what you perceive to be fact is really not facts.
And that happens.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
There was a blue car that went past. Well, when did you see the car? It was at midnight. Well, how do you know it was blue? It could have been gray.
Right.
Facts are fact.
Right. So don't treat it as
a
fact.
That's what I said. Perception is. Will mess you up. Perspective will mess you up.
The world was flat until it was not. Round was proven by evidence. Flat was based on perspective.
Right.
Thank you, Robert Phelan.
But it wasn't flat. It was always round. It was always round.
Okay. But people perceived it as flat.
They said it was factual, that it was flat. But facts will always come out above and beyond everything else, no matter what your perception is. Right.
True. Okay. And someone said both. If at the time the statement is made that it is the current status of the situation, then it is truth. But events like the flow of time can change in a moment, and then the truth of the moment changes with it. And but faith is knowing about what? Wait, but faith is knowing without seeing.
That's true.
Okay, true. And then Leslie King put the definition of truth, and it is a constant of unchangeable quality rooted in the very nature of God.
That's the definition of truth or facts?
Truth.
Oh, well.
Not fact.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, there's our responses.
Yeah.
We invite you to go to our Facebook page.
If you disagree or agree or have your own opinion, please go to our Facebook page and chronicle your decision by writing it down.
Chronicle your decision,
okay.
Please.
Let's do some history, all right?
Okay.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
As the jury was being polled, Miss Hurst kept her eyes fixed straight ahead at the jurors as each one confirmed the guilty verdict.
49 years ago, Patricia Hearst was convicted of armed robbery. A San Francisco jury felt she had willingly taken part in a bank holdup staged by Symbionese Liberation Army, the group that kidnapped her in 1974. CBS News correspondent Harold Dow was reporting.
The first thing you saw were people being brought up on stretchers and being given oxygen and put into ambulances.
30 years ago today, a terrorist cult spread poison sarin gas in 5 locations in the Tokyo subway, killing 12 people and sickening more than 5,500 others. This man watched victims being treated.
No cry outs. There were no tears. The 2 brothers sat at the table very calm.
29 years ago, after their first trial had ended in a mistrial, a Los Angeles jury convicted Lyle and Eric Menendez of murdering their parents. Author Dominique Dune described the mood in the courtroom when the verdicts were read.
That's still going on.
Yeah, it is.
Did you say you watched that documentary?
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Should they be released or?
Well, I think they biased that to be that it was justified.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So is that fact or whatever? What are the facts?
There's a lot of facts, but then you have to, if there's too many, if there's more than one fact, then you have to disseminate and make a decision.
Well, here I'm going to tell you fact. Here's the definition: a thing that is known or proved to be true.
Okay. Proved.
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 Not just opinion.
Not just opinion.
Okay.
This is Rob Milford, CBS News, reporting live from the southern desert of Iraq. I'm with the 1st Marine Division. We have just broken through the 3 berms and 2 anti-tank ditches and fences that separate Kuwait from Iraq.
22 years ago today, back in 2003, U.S. Marines invaded Iraq in a mission to force regime change and oust President Saddam Hussein. The U.S. captured Baghdad 3 weeks later. Saddam was captured the following December.
Okay.
China's President Xi Jinping arrived in Moscow for a visit described by China's media as a trip for peace to discuss Beijing's peace proposal for the Ukraine war after the Biden administration cautioned that any effort to propose a ceasefire as a ratification of Russian conquest of territory within Ukraine's borders as unacceptable.
2 years ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin welcomed Chinese leaders, however you say his name, to the Kremlin, sending a powerful message to Western leaders that their efforts to isolate Moscow over the fighting in Ukraine have fallen short. CBS News correspondent Pamela Falk was the one reporting. Say his name.
Xi Jinping.
Why does that not roll off my tongue?
Because it starts off with an X.
And it's G.
It's
G. That's G.
I don't tell audiences what the lesson is. I never say, well, you come out of the theater, here are the things, the takeaways. I don't do takeaways. I leave it up to the audience. I respect their intelligence.
This is a birthday cut. Film director Shelton Jackson, also known as Spike Lee, was born on this day 68 years ago today. He is best known for films that delve into issues of race relations and poverty like She's Gotta Have It and Malcolm X. Here he talks about the way he treats his audience when it comes to these often heavy themes. And he's right. Let the audience make their own decision. Good for him.
So, you're not well educated, you have almost no experience, and you can't write.
Yeah, and I'm making a fortune.
Actress Holly Hunter was born on this day 67 years ago. That was 1958. She received an Oscar nomination for broadcast news opposite William Hurt.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Really good.
After me. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Very good. A little louder. Very clear. Listen. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Actor David Thewlis was born on this day 62 years ago. Thewlis is best known for his role as Professor Remus Lupin in the Harry Potter movies. And here is a scene from that film, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Zanzibar.
Okay, guitarist Nick Wheeler was born on this day, and 43 years ago, that was 1982. He is best known for his hit rock band, the All-American Rejects.
Okay, all right, and okay. Also another birthday cut, actress and singer Christy Carlson Romano was born 41 years ago. She is best known for her role in the sitcom Even Stevens and as the voice of the main character in the animated series Kim Possible. And here's the theme song from Kim Possible that we didn't hear. All right, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Maddox Keeter, and we'll be talking about the chess club.
Okay.
Maybe how you can get involved if you want to play chess or learn. It's a very easy. Do you know how to play?
Really? No, I don't.
It's fairly easy.
Seriously?
This one moves this way, this one moves that way, and then it's all strategy from there on out. And some games last forever, but we'll find out all about that.
Did you like checkers too?
Yeah, hey, if you know checkers,
I know checkers,
and then you learn chess, you'll never go back to checkers.
Okay.
You'll always want to play chess.
Okay.
All right. Up next is Maddox Keeter. Will stay with us. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. We have in the studio a chess champion. Well, you want to be a chess champion, I'm sure.
I definitely do.
Maddox Keeter is in the house, and I was talking to my son, who went to school with Maddox's dad, and he's talking about your chess club that you want. Did you start the club? Or?
I did start the club. Yeah.
You're the one that started the club.
Yeah.
And there was no chess club here at all.
There wasn't. I grew up here, but I just moved back recently about 2 years ago. And the first thing I looked up was, man, where can I go play some chess in the area? And the closest thing was Little Rock. And I said, well, that's not going to do any good. And then Fayetteville have them every once in a while, and Springfield have them every once in a while. They have a club that meets, and they have tournaments as well. But there just wasn't anything close enough.
Well, what's the fascination with chess?
Yeah, I learned how to play chess when I was real little, but I only recently got back into it about probably 3 years ago. It was when I really started taking it serious. It was kind of around the chess boom. The Queen's Gambit show on Netflix got really popular, and during COVID, when everyone was stuck inside, everyone wanted to be playing. Well, you know, a lot of new people want to play chess, and there was a big. All of a sudden, everyone's playing it, and it became a big deal. And so I kind of got caught up with that, and I was like, this is really fun. I really enjoy playing this, and so I wanted to get really good at it. Yeah. And I've been practicing.
What's the fascination with chess? Because it is a simple game. I mean, how fast can you teach somebody to play chess?
I would say, chess is easier to learn than probably Monopoly. Like, if you really sat down and it really just is the pieces moving side to side or diagonal. Yeah. And then you could teach them, pretty fast. I think the hardest part is remembering how it goes after you learn it, but learning it should be pretty easy. Yeah. And then I think my fascination with it in particular is just chess has been around since they were building the pyramids. Yeah. Cleopatra played chess, and we've been playing it for so long as humans. We've gotten really, really good at the game. Today's top humans in the world are so good at chess that if you put them up against the same top humans 50 years ago, it wouldn't even be a competition. We're always getting better at the game.
Just the strategy part.
Yeah, just the strategy. Just because we think so many moves ahead and we play it over and over against. Yeah.
How do you practice? How do you practice it?
Yeah, I think the best way to practice chess is the further ahead you can look forward in the game. And
different scenarios. Okay.
Yeah. If you're sitting there and you're looking at your pieces and your opponent's pieces, and you're thinking, well, I could do this move. But what are they going to do?
That move?
What are they going to do after I do mine? Well, I better not let them do. And then if you can go a move ahead of that, and if you can go a move ahead of that, and that's
where you win. That's where you win the game, because you second guess your opponent, and then if he's a little more strategic than you, he has outwitted you 6, 7, 8 moves ahead of what you're thinking he's going to do.
A lot of chess,
which is confusing.
Well, yeah, for a novice brain here, it's very confusing, but.
Thankfully, there's people playing chess at all levels, though. You don't have to jump into chess and be like, whoa, I got to know 20 moves ahead, or I got to understand all this different theory or all these concepts. You really don't. There's people playing chess who probably don't even know how all the pieces move the right way, you know? So you can jump into it at any level, and you can be as serious as you want to be about it, or you can be as casual as you want to be about it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, your chess club, do you invite all different levels to join in that?
Of course. I'm very happy to see just about anyone show up to the chess club. It's at the Boone County Library is where I host it. It's every Saturday. It's from 1 to 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Every Saturday, 1 to 3 o'clock at the Boone County Library. And we meet upstairs. I love for anybody to come by. I have all age groups that come by. I have people that come by that beat me. I have people that come by. I've got people that come by that are still learning how to play the game, but I'm very happy to teach them and how to show them things. So I get people from all skill levels, all age groups.
Do they have to bring their own chess board?
Oh, no. I've got quite a few of them that I've been stockpiling. There's a bunch of very helpful people at the OUR co-op that let me borrow some chessboards as well sometimes when I have to do a tournament or when there's a big event going on.
You just loved the game so much, and you wanted to see it here in the community that you live. So you were willing to take the bull by the horn, so to speak. And not many 20-year-olds would go to that length.
Well, yeah, I went to the library about 2 years ago. I think it was February 2 years ago, and I said, "Do you guys have a chess club here?" And they said no, and I was like, "Well, I can't find one anywhere." And then how hard would it be to start a chess club? And they said, well, not that hard. You just come in here and you go to the meeting rooms on Saturday. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's all right. And I started doing it. I showed up. I made flyers for people, let them know.
Good for you.
And then it did start out slow, I mean, with anything. But I've been doing it so long now that so many people know about it, and they come by whenever they can. And I think the most helpful thing was getting flyers out, and I put them up by like schools or where the kids are, or I know some people who teach at the schools around here. I know a couple of people that run some of the chess clubs. Actually, I've gotten in contact with them, and that's just been most helpful for growing the club. But now that I've been doing it for 2 years, it's really something actually.
That's cool.
People show up and it's a really good time. Yeah.
How do you offer like a beginner's class? Can you do that? How do you teach someone?
Yeah, of course. Anyone that shows up on Saturday, I'm happy to teach them. I mean, anyone at all can show up, and it probably not even just me either. I'm sure the other people who come by would be happy to teach you too.
Because you just man off with a partner and just start playing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, we practice in there, we play games in there, and there's a lot of different ways to try to keep chess interesting. I mean, I'm sure you think about it as a one versus one person game, but we'll play it sometimes as two people versus two people, or we have different ways.
How do you do that?
Whoa.
Yeah, I actually think it's really fun. So
you take a move and then you get up and let the other person make a move?
Not quite. So you have one. Well, you could probably do it that way too, but the way we do it is you have one person say, "Okay, I want you to move your knight," but they don't tell them where to move it, and then the other person has to pick where the knight goes.
Oh, okay.
So you got two people.
That's cool.
You can't talk to each other, but you say, I see a really good move with the knight, but I don't know if he sees it. So I'm going to tell him to move the knight, and I hope that he finds the right one that I'm thinking of. But
how do you tell him this? Do you text it to him? Do you text it to him?
No, well, we're right there in the room. We just tell each
other. You verbalize it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Castling is the thing that I still don't understand. I mean, I know how to play the game, but and I know that you swap the queen with another piece.
Swap you put the king over two, and the rook usually jumps.
Okay, that's the complicated part of it. I don't guess I totally understand yet.
I mean, I can explain it to you. It's
yeah.
I don't really understand how they do the rules for chess. I mean, castling's been a thing for I think hundreds of years, and I have no clue why they put it in the game. To tell you the truth,
yeah, it's a one move situation, right?
Yeah, no other move is like it, so it's kind of hard. But basically, what happens is if you've got all your other guys out of the way, and all you've got left is just your king and your rook on the back rank. If they haven't moved, so it's their first move.
Okay, yeah.
The king will jump 2 spaces. Either direction, 2 spaces either on his own side or 2 spaces on the queen side, and then the rook jumps over him right to the square on the other side. So it's definitely unlike any other move in chess.
Do you use that move?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's very helpful for keeping your king safe. I mean, I would say that a lot of what matters about chess is how fast you get your pieces out and how quickly you can get your king safe off to the side.
Have you ever won by castling?
That's actually really funny, and I have actually. So if you get the enemy's king all trapped up, and then he can't move anywhere, and you castle, and your rook jumps to just the right square to give him checkmate right as you castle, and I have actually done that before. It's pretty rare thing to happen.
It's a strategy
game.
game.
I've heard of checkmate. I couldn't tell you what it is.
I mean, you can't make any more moves.
I any of that. But anyway, it's my husband played some, used to, but
checkmate is pretty easy. the enemy's king, he's got a little square around him that he can move. He can move one square in any direction, but only one. Mm-hmm. So he's pretty slow. And the way to checkmate him is just to make sure he can't move anywhere.
Yeah. And if he moves anywhere, he's
done.
He's done.
And then you've got him trapped.
That's
game over. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mentioned the game Risk. Have you ever played that?
I love Risk.
He knew you would.
I knew you would love Risk because it's strategy. I think chess is more of a strategy type of game.
It is. It's really. I mean, a lot of chess is playing against yourself because if you find the best move for yourself, you also have to find the best move for your opponent too. Because if you're thinking, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do, and I got to think about everything that he can do. Well, he's not going to tell you, right?
Right.
So it's your own skill level, and that's what you're like. And then if you miss something, well, that's chess for you. But
you learn from it, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're playing against yourself sometimes, but also your opponent if they see something that you don't. And it's really, I mean, the strategy. I think just because of how long the game's been going on, like I said, the strategy just gets really in depth. It gets really complicated.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like an interesting, an interesting game for sure.
One last question. I love Star Trek, and they have in the Star Trek universe, they have a 3-dimensional chess board. Have you ever seen that?
I have seen that.
Have you ever played it?
I have played. There's a game on the computer called 5-dimensional time travel chess, and I've played that, and that was very fun. I've seen the boards that you're talking about, where the boards have 3 different levels, and I know vaguely the rules for how they play those games, and they're I think they're too complicated, to tell you the truth.
Probably are. Yeah.
I think they.
I think it was just bit for a visual effect, and whatever was in the script didn't make any sense at all.
But I really like the idea. I think any way that you can play chess is fun. Yeah. So.
Well, we're glad you came today.
Thank you very much for having me.
For people that let's tell people again, you're going to meet every Saturday. What times?
Every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 3.
Okay.
Sometimes at the Boone County Library.
And that's at the upstairs.
At the upstairs, yeah.
Okay.
And anyone's welcome. Anyone at all.
Any skill level is welcome.
And if you've never played chess, this may be the place to learn. And understandably, I think I learned how to play, how to move the pieces in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
The queen
basics.
can move
It's
any
very
direction. The king can only move one direction.
The bishops remembering those things.
Right. I will always advocate that it's not hard to learn to play the game. The hard part starts after that.
Yeah,
right.
It starts
when you have to remember.
Yeah.
But if you like to twist your mind in someone else's, chess is probably the best game to learn.
I think it's great.
And Maddox would be a great teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to teach people, anyone that comes by.
Well, Maddox, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It was very nice to be here.
Yeah, and check out the library while you're there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hi. Are we back?
We are back.
Dan
we are
asked
back.
me if I was excited.
Yeah, I asked you if you're excited about your trip, and you said, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited." And I said, "How's Richard take it?" And he goes, "Well, he hates the process."
He hates. We both. It's a process you got to go through TSA,
Yeah.
to do all that, to ride on the plane, blah 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 blah. We just tune people out through the whole process.
Yeah.
And then we arrive at the destination, and we're happy.
Well, you're happy
We're
when you
people.
get there, yeah.
Yes,
Well, I hope the weather's good for you while you're there.
I am too. I've looked at the extended forecast, and there's like 30%, for a couple hours during the day. And
Well,
that's
does
typical.
it's different. It's different weather there, right?
Yeah. And
It rains a little bit and stops.
Right.
And, yeah.
And I looked up. It is not. I had said it was part of the British Virgin Islands, and it's not. It's it was actually
Portuguese. Tasmanians.
No. No.
French?
It's in the Eastern Caribbean, and it's.
Oh, it's those people.
It broke apart from, I think, Great Britain at some point. And Anyway, yeah. But I had. Never mind. Let's just go on.
The Flinganese had it.
The Flinganese? Is
The
that
Flinganese.
what do Flinganese do? What do you think they're known for? Flinganese?
They're known for the Garbosher exercises and the festivals. Have you never heard of the Garboshers? It's a festival that happens with shells and pig's feet. What? I'm trying to educate you. Oh gosh.
No, but I could.
You just humiliate me.
No, you just started. And you had to come up with a word.
The
Flinganese.
Flinganese.
The Flinganese, but
Flinganese.
the Garbosher. You could see it. I could see it in your face. It was like, then you had to just go ahead and make up some term. That's what got me laughing. The Garboshers.
Garbloshers.
Oh, bloshers. Excuse me.
Bloshers.
In the Flinganese.
The Flinganese, the Garbloshers.
You know what? Flinganese,
They
fling.
Yeah, the Flinganese had a battle with the Garbloshers, and they split those islands.
Oh, did they?
Which is like Haiti and Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
They owned that island at one time.
Which
and
one? The Flinganese?
I think the Flinganese owned Haiti, and the Garbloshers owned the Dominican Republic. They had to change the name, of course. It was named something totally different. You want me to tell you what that?
This is not fact. We have been on the fact thing.
Now, this is my facts.
This is only
no.
Dan's interpretation
Facts.
of the facts.
Facts are facts until they're proven wrong. These are my facts.
These have been proven wrong a long time ago.
They didn't go back that far in the history books. You need to go back a little further into the
Where did you get
Flinganese,
your facts from?
There was one Flinganese left. One Flinganese. It's like the dodo bird. I'm here. I'm writing.
This is what's happened.
Okay.
Okay, in case you're wondering, a new study says cell phone use has literally rotted your brain.
Yeah, read that story. That's a good one.
Oh, it's literally rotting. Okay, let me calm down. A new study says cell phone use is literally rotting our brains. Researchers took MRIs of the brains of people who were constantly on their phones. They found certain areas of the brain that either grew or shrank where they shouldn't have done either one of those. But the good news is you can rewire your brain in just 3 days. Experts say put the phone down and do activities that stimulate your mind, like drawing or playing guitar, just no screens.
Wow.
That's probably a good
Cool.
thing I'll take. I think that's good advice, and I'm fixing to recharge my brain, I guess, because I'm not going to be on my phone all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's interesting. That's
let's
what's
see.
happened to you. It made you come up with Flinganese and Garbloshers.
Okay. You're talking about air travel.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to know if you could take your nail clippers with you.
Yeah.
Well, the Canadians limited their air travel to the United States.
Oh, yeah.
First, Canadian tourists decided to boycott travel to the United States. Now, Canadians still wanting to fly to the United States will have fewer flights to choose from. Airlines in Canada Airlines in Canada are canceling flights to cities like Nashville and Las Vegas starting this month. Tourism experts say Canadians are responding to the political climate by avoiding U.S. travel. Air Canada says while subtracting flights to the U.S., they're adding more flights to Mexico and the Caribbean.
People would rather go there anyway.
Yeah, maybe if Harry Styles decides to hit the stage in Vegas, they'll change their minds.
Don't you think, though, maybe they're not... I've read where other airlines were cutting flights. I'm sure it's just not beneficial. They don't get it, they probably don't have a full plane or whatever.
Well, I would think so. I mean, otherwise they're just hurting their revenues if they're just doing it out of spite.
Right.
Which I doubt that they're doing that. It didn't make sense they would do that, yeah.
So, back in high school, I went to Mexico City with a group, a Spanish group. I didn't take Spanish, but anyway, I went on the trip. But we got to do some little bullfighting things with these little, this small. They didn't have horns.
Yeah,
they were like
wouldn't even worry about getting gored or anything.
I was not worried about getting, but you had the red thing and all that, and
that was cool.
Me being an idiot, I didn't get that thing moved fast enough. That bull was like, come on, little bull was trying to come right at me. But anyway, so. Mexico City's Congress voted on Tuesday to make bullfighting less dangerous for the bulls and the matadors because they do the real thing. If you've ever watched that, it's quite...
And they end up killing the bull.
Yeah. Going forward, bulls will have to have their horns covered, and bullfighters can't attack the animals with spades and swords. So there'll be none of that. Oh. Which seemed pretty cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel. It's cruel.
They're also not allowed to kill the animals. Animal rights activists were thrilled, but bullfighting supporters tried to jump the barricade to protest. Mexico City has the world's largest bullfighting ring with 41,000 seats. I don't know how long that's been.
So they're going to stop killing the bulls.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll have to put them in a retirement. What do you do? Because it's useless. You can't possibly keep that bull for anything except maybe studding. I don't know. Yeah. I
would think that everybody's on their phone and they're rotting their brains and they could care less about the bullfights anymore. It seems like, if that was one of the national sports, they would want to keep doing that. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, they're being pressured by the activist, I guess.
That's probably a good idea to stop it.
Yeah. Well, it's not totally stopped. It's just they're wrapping their horns and they're not. Yeah. It's a little less deadly, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, they've released the JFK classified documents, and it's kind of a bust. That's what I expected.
Yeah.
If you were looking for the release of the classified JFK files to be dramatic, it's not going to be that way. They said that you're not going to find anything new in the documents to change the long-held findings that Lee Harvey Oswald was acted alone. But if you want to see for yourself, you can find out on the National Archives website, which also contains photographs and sound recordings. There are over 80,000 pages up there, and I would assume that people are going to go through them again and see.
What were people expecting to find?
Well,
who are these people?
The people that had to make the reports on this stuff was the CIA and the FBI and Secret Service and all that stuff. And I would think that if they didn't want people to know anything, they wouldn't write a report.
Right. It would be left out.
It would be left out, so you're not going to find anything.
Right.
But, Trump did say he was going to release it, and it's released. There it is.
Well, I think that there'd been conspiracy things about it out in the world, and maybe he just wanted to halt that and say, here it is.
I think people may have thought that there would be a record of something. Nobody's going to keep a record if they done something wrong.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Unless you've got a recording.
Yeah.
Then.
We need to take our last break. And before we do you want to talk about the roller coaster?
This little roller coaster of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Okay, that was really bad singing. Spend your morning or afternoons where, Dan? At the Runaway Mountain Coaster.
Runaway, yeah.
Runaway Mountain Coaster. And you know what else?
It's up in Branson.
Buy one, get one free tickets.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the strip there, too.
Okay, right there.
Through March 31st, stretch your spring break dollar. Spring break's right here, like upon us, with a buy one, get one free from 10 a.m. to noon or 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
And I want to mention that its special is only through Monday through Friday. It's not on the weekends.
Yes, correct.
So don't think that you'll go up there and get that deal. It's only during the week.
And it will end March 31st.
Okay.
So runawaybranson.com/spring break for details.
Take our break, and when we come back, we'll have more nonsense for you from around the table. Stay with us. And welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and Ann.
Dan?
Yes.
Earlier in the show, you mentioned something about being by yourself a bit. Do you remember what you said?
Just it's nice to be alone. I mean,
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to omit people, but it's nice to just be in solitude and without any interruptions or chaos or
Agreed.
conflict or any of that stuff. Yeah.
But if you're one of those people who loves when a friend cancels plans at the last minute, or do you truly enjoy having a weekend free of social events? Yes, that would be you and me. Experts say you're becoming too antisocial if you fall in that category.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a problem. Okay? That's because being regularly antisocial can lead to loneliness, which is bad for our health. They warn that loneliness harms our sleep, our immune systems, our levels of depression and anxiety. So, make your friends. Well, I would
Yes.
have to, I don't
like
have fact on this,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it bothers me one bit.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling of loneliness,
No.
but I do like to be alone at times to kind of regenerate my whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you need that peace
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah.
chaos going on around
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us because we feel that way, in my humble opinion.
Did you hear this story about the 9-year-old taken to the ER after eating gravel at school?
Little kid.
A Missouri mom is not happy after her autistic nonverbal son came home from school with a belly full of rocks.
Wow.
Jeez.
Eating rocks, man.
He's supposed to have an aide with him at all times, but somehow the boy gobbled handfuls of gravel from the playground. His mom took him to the emergency room where the gravel showed up in his gut on the x-ray. Luckily, he was able to go home and let nature take its course the old-fashioned way.
You know,
the police have started an investigation while the school fired the aide.
well, that was my response. The aide probably should be fired.
Yeah, if you're
that's your assignment.
Even if you're not being paid, if you volunteer, if you take on a responsibility, you need to be 100% on that function.
Okay,
job. Yeah.
we just had a text that said that happened to my nephew eating rocks at daycare. But this child was autistic, so he's normally had someone, I guess, with him all the time. But for whatever reason,
we had a friend when I was before I was in school, so I had to been 3 years old, 3 years old, I would say, because I went to school when I was 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
They wanted you out of the house.
No,
I'm just kidding.
they falsified my birth certificate to get me out of the house.
Really?
Yes.
Was that so you could flinganese some stuff?
I learned Flinganese in 2nd grade.
Did you?
Yeah, it was still in the history books back then. Anyway, we had a neighbor kid that would come over, and he would pick up rocks, and you know how the nice dirt would stick to the bottom of it?
Sure.
He would eat that dirt.
Oh, I thought maybe he made you eat the dirt.
No, I was like,
Really?
didn't know that we were supposed to eat dirt. So anyway, some
Did that
people
make you eat dirt? Did
no,
you try it? Oh.
No, some people say that if you do something like that, you're low on a mineral or something like that. So
well, they
could
say
be
that about
possibility.
animals, and yeah, my dog used to chew on rocks. Now it sticks. So I think it's just boredom. But anyway, okay, today is what? It's the first day of spring. Yay! But it's like cold and it's so silly. It's also proposal day. Go propose to somebody for something, I reckon. National Burning Snowman Day.
We got about 3 seconds.
Okay. Don't burn. There's
All right.
a burn ban. Bye.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.